Welcome to Design Foundations, the podcast where faith, family health, and true wellness come together. I'm Kelly, an integrative health practitioner, optometrist, and mom who's been where you are. I know how overwhelming it can feel to navigate health challenges for yourself and your family. That's why I'm here, to help you uncover the root causes of those struggles and help you build an unshakable foundation for a thriving life where you feel rooted, replenished, and restored. In each episode, we'll cut through the noise, talk about practical tips, and share real-life stories to encourage and equip you. You've got what it takes to create lasting wellness. I'm just here to help you get there. Let's dive in. Welcome back to another week of Design Foundations. We are so grateful that you are here listening. It has been the craziest week for me. I don't know about you guys, but I just really wanted to bring you something. It was probably good timing that it was such a crazy week. I was really pressed for time. And I honestly was even pressed for time with this podcast to get it out to you. And I thought, what is the most practical, valuable piece of information that I could provide that's tangible, that people can take with them, that they can support themselves in their homes, they can support their families. And when I really thought through that, it was just teaching you a little bit about the body's drainage system. This is the first step I take with every single client. There is reason for that, and I will explain it here today. But if you're really looking to take the first step yourself or your family, understanding your body's drainage system and how it works is the first step in support that you can use in how to create long-lasting change in your wellness. So if you are experiencing things like just feeling exhaustion, no matter how much you sleep, maybe feeling there's constant brain fog, losing your train of thought mid-sentence, having poor digestion, feeling like it's sluggish or that bloating is happening just all the time, that's kind of your new normal. Maybe continuous skin breakouts, acne, and no amount of like fancy skincare, no matter what you get, is taking care of that. No matter what you try, you're still feeling like you're in this like stuck cycle of frustration, kind of grabbing for all the things. And the truth is that you need more than detox supplements or, the most current fad or detox, another new diet. What if your body can't eliminate the toxins that you already have? So if your drainage system is backed up, the toxins have absolutely nowhere to go. These are the things we're trying to get out of our body. So instead of being flushed out, they're just going to continue recirculating, clogging up the liver, overwhelming the lymphatic system, causing inflammation in the gut and the brain. So if you're serious about improving your wellness, the first thing that you need to do is get your body's drainage system firing on all cylinders, like period, end of story. Everything else, your detox protocols, your supplement regimen, your diet changes, it's all going to be honestly an absolute waste of time and money if you don't have this foundational piece first. So let me ask you a couple questions. Truthfully, think about these. Take some time just to reflect. When was the last time you had a truly satisfying, complete bowel movement, right? Some of us don't want to talk about this. This is regular talk over in my house. When is the last time? If you can't remember, that is a red flag that your colon is not in a great spot. It's not normal to go every 2 to 3 days, okay? Do you frequently experience brain fog, headaches, or trouble concentrating? These could be signs that your brain's glymphatic system isn't draining properly. So essentially the brain isn't detoxing as it needs to. It actually detoxes while we'll sleep, and we'll dive into that. Have you noticed any unexplained swelling, whether it's in your ankles, your abdomen, or even cellulite on your legs? This is a culprit of stagnant lymph very often. How's your energy level throughout the day? Sluggishness and fatigue are super common when your liver and your mitochondria aren't able to efficiently process toxins in the way that they should. Do you have a history of chronic infection, skin issues, other inflammatory issues? Then this is going to be blockage in your drainage pathways that are actually contributing to these problems. So when was the last time that you took a deep dive into supporting your body's natural detoxification processes rather than just trying the latest cleanse or supplement? So if you're nodding your head, if any of those sound familiar, you're resonating, you are absolutely not alone. The good news is you don't need a magic pill or an extreme cleanse to fix this. And there is a time and place for those, but they can't come first. The drainage system and getting it open has to come first. You've got to get it working again. All right, so some of you thinking like, okay, that sounds familiar. I can resonate with some of those. My kids definitely, I can put in some of those categories, but what the heck is the drainage funnel? And why does she care about this? If you can understand this topic, I feel like so strong about this, you can abate probably 60 to 70% of reasons for things progressing, for even needing to go to the doctor's office, if you know how to support these different areas when you start to see symptoms arising, then you are going to be in a much, much better place. This is like the ultimate toolbox for the start of health and wellness. So what is the drainage funnel? It's basically your body's detox system. So like think of it like a kitchen sink. If the pipes are clear, right, waste is going to flow out easily. It's going to flow out through the garbage disposal, no problem. But if the drain gets clogged, water is going to back up and the mess stays put. So your body works in the exact same way. If toxins cannot exit properly, they don't just disappear. They get stuck in your system. They start recirculating. They start causing inflammation, hormone imbalances, eventually lead to chronic illness. So that's why supporting drainage is the absolute first step before doing any detox or healing protocol. And I know there's so much out there about different detoxes and fad this and fad that. And at certain places, those things, or certain times, I should say, those things do have their place for the right person. But to just jump into them without the ability to eliminate toxins is going to actually cause you a whole host of other symptoms. So have any of you ever done a detox and like you get in like day 2 or 3 and you just feel absolutely miserable? It's because your body is trying to rid now all of these toxins. Maybe it's gotten a jump start from particular supplements or drinks that you're drinking, but the toxins can't get out. So now you're just shoving them all out, recirculating, and you're causing the inflammation, the hormone imbalances, the things that we mentioned before. So supporting drainage first comes before anything. And so we're going to break down actually each stage of the drainage funnel. I'm going to give kind of a bird's eye view here so we can go more in detail later. And I definitely do this with my clients, but I'll try to hop on and probably do more specific episodes on each area specifically. But from a time perspective, I want to just look at each area of the drainage funnel. We're going to start from the bottom. This is the body's main exit, and then we're going to work our way up. So I literally want you to think of a funnel, and I want you to put the colon at the very bottom. Okay, this is the body's final exit. This is your large intestine. It's the body's primary waste removal system. That's probably not shocking news to anybody. But if you're not having at least one healthy bowel movement daily, and ideally 1 to 3, toxins are not leaving. They're getting reabsorbed into your bloodstream. I personally have learned this the hard way. There's a time when I thought going to the bathroom every 2 to 3 days was completely normal. Brushed it off until I realized my chronic bloating, breakouts, fatigue were all connected to slow moving colon. And this one for kids, pay attention. Ask them. Our teens, a little bit more. This isn't going to be like free flow conversation, but your kiddos, pay attention. How often are they going? Ask them questions. Ask them questions about it. What does it look like? What is it? Are we getting pebbles? Are we getting regular stool? Like this doesn't need to be like awkward or strange conversation. It only is if we make it that way, but it's super valuable information to let you know where their drainage funnel is at, what we need to be able to be steadily eliminating toxins from our body. And if they're not, they're just backing up into the large intestine, backs up into the small intestine. That's supposed to be a sterile area. So then we get bacteria in a place that's not supposed to be there. We get things like small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And there's a backup that goes on from there considerably. So very easy question. This is the start. Okay, so if you're not going at least once a day, your kiddos aren't going once a day, I just want to give some really basic foundational tips of how we can help make that happen. None of these are rocket science. None of these even require insane supplementation, but they're just applying the foundations. They're applying the basics. Okay. All right. So how do we keep it moving? Hydration is the very first one. Half your body weight in water a day. Half your kiddo's body weight in water a day. If you're not going, if you're feeling a little bit constipated, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. That's the very best and easiest thing you can do. Get the body moving. 10-minute walks after meals helps digestion. Kiddos, get them in sports. Go outside, run around, play in the backyard, go to the park, go on a walk as a family. Get the body moving. Of course, making sure that there is fiber in the diet, berries, leafy greens. Be sure that we are incorporating these things. It's definitely going to help out this area. If we're looking for supplemental help, something like magnesium, vitamin C, and kind of a step up from that would be using some type of aloe. I love from Core Formulas, there is a product called Bowel Complete that works fantastic. There are certainly more heavy hitters that can come into play here. that can be used. And that's kind of on an individual basis. But these are some really basic things that can help to get things flowing. Absolutely. I'm going to caution you, please, please, please do not use Miralax on a regular basis. There are many, many studies that show the negative side effects that can occur, actually many mental health side effects that occur from Miralax. So if you need to use it as like a one-time emergency situation, but many, many times I see children who have been on this for sometimes years or definitely months for like consistent clean outs. Well, we need to figure out why the constipation is occurring in the first place, not just continuing to supplement with something so that we continue to go. We've got to figure out why, whether it's food sensitivities, maybe there's an issue or bacteria in the gut, whatever it is that needs to be explored further. So that's the topic for another day, but this is the very bottom of the funnel. So we need to be moving so that toxins can be moving through. Right up from that funnel, so sitting right on top is going to be the liver and the bile flow. So this is really your body's like big time detox center. Your liver filters everything in your body. So it's like your body's built-in filtration system. It neutralizes toxins, metabolizes hormones. It's cleaning up the mess from processed foods, medication, stress, environmental toxins. It's filtering everything going in your mouth, going on in your body, going on your body, that is around your body. Okay, your liver is working overtime. But if your bile isn't flowing properly, those toxins don't leave. They get reabsorbed into your bloodstream. This is going to lead to things like skin breakouts, acne, eczema, different type of rashes, waking up between 1 to 3 a.m. This is your liver's detox window. So a lot of times when people say, yeah, I consistently wake up at 2:15 in the morning. Well, that's a cue for you that your liver is that's giving you a cry for help. I need some more support. Mood swings, hormone imbalances, irritability, rage, anger, like all of these things are signals to you that your liver might need some extra support. So I personally noticed that my hormonal acne cleared up. PMS symptoms started to disappear when I started supporting my liver the right way. Again, we can see some of this through blood work, but a lot of this is just really basic foundations. So what can I do to help support my liver drainage and bile flow? This is going to be things like bitter foods, arugula. It's a joke that I'm obsessed with arugula. I really do just love it, but it's wonderful for the liver. So any type of bitter foods, dandelion greens, arugula, something as simple as lemon water, do it in the morning, throw some sea salt, some lemon water in a cup before you drink absolutely anything in the morning. You're not only getting a step up on hydration, on cellular hydration, a little bit of salt for the adrenals, but we're also helping to detox our liver here and setting our day out with that perfect start. Healthy fats are going to be really great. Something as simple as a castor oil pack. So you can make one, but you can also grab one on Amazon. I love just like the Queen of Thrones. It's simple. You throw some castor oil on it, organic castor oil, and you're literally going to put it over your liver and you're going to tie it on and you're going to let it sit there for at least an hour. You can sleep in it if you want to. This is going to boost liver function. It's going to promote bile flow. When the bile is flowing, it's helping those toxins flow through that are eventually going to flow out then through the colon, right? And then I'm going to have the removal of the waste. But if my colon is backed up, then I'm not going to have the ability to do that. On a whole nother level, depending on where you are at in your wellness journey, coffee enemas are certainly an option. This is going to stimulate glutathione, which is basically your body's master antioxidant. I completely understand that is not for everybody. There's a few of you that are listening that are just thinking, okay, she just lost all credibility by mentioning that. But it is very effective. There are many people who have really great success with that again, but I completely understand that's not for everyone. But some very, very basic things to do. I also love Core Formulas. I keep mentioning them. I love their products because they're very simple. They're very basic. They don't have a lot of preservatives and other fillers and junk in them, but they have a product called Drainage Essentials. That is by far probably my favorite liver supplement that honestly is part of the foundational protocol that I use even for my own clients and actually have taken it for myself every day for years now. So just some basics there. The next step up. So we've got our funnel, we've got the colon, the liver's on top of there. And then above that, we have the lymphatic system. So this is kind of like the body's waste highway. Your lymphatic system is essentially like a garbage truck. It's carrying waste from tissues and organs to be eliminated. But unlike our circulatory system, which has the heart to continually be able to pump blood throughout the body, the lymphatic system doesn't have a pump. So it is only going to move as much as you move. So if you are someone who doesn't have a lot of exercise, a little bit not moving as much, then your lymph has more chance of becoming stagnant. So if you deal with constant puffiness, swelling, then you need to know the power of lymphatic drainage. There has been a lot in social media and Instagram and all the talk lately about things like dry brushing and rebounding. And there's actually good reason for that. So dry brushing is something that you can incorporate, very simple, very fast. It can be, 5 to 15 minutes. You can do it before you hop in the shower, but this is going to manually stimulate lymph flow. Okay, so how do I get better movement of my lymph? How do I clear out lymph congestion? You see lots all over social media, Instagram, videos everywhere of like dry brushing, gua sha, tapping, and all of these things are actually really great resources. There's good reason. Sometimes fads are worth paying attention to, and this is actually one of them. So dry brushing, super easy. This is going to manually stimulate lymph flow. You can do this 5 minutes before you hop in the shower. You can teach your kiddos how to do this. Very simple. Rebounding, jumping on a trampoline. This moves lymph actually like 10 times faster. So if you've got a trampoline at home, go hop on it. Reasons for moms to go jump on the trampoline with your kids, but really great, easy thing to do. Deep breaths. So just taking time to do deep breathing, actually increased oxygen fuels lymphatic drainage. A lot of us don't know that. So again, very simple foundational tools. And then on a higher level, there's something like lymphatic massage. This is again going to manually stimulate circulation. You can do different types of acupuncture. Foam rolling is another great option for kids. So there's a whole host of things. We're just kind of overviewing them here, but very easy ways to get that lymph moving. If my lymph is moving, then those things that are moving through the lymph are going to go into the liver, right? If my liver is flowing through, it's going to go through the colon and then it's able to leave the body. So you can see how this funnel is starting to work. Another thing to probably mention for the lymph is lymph nodes. So if you're someone who gets lymphatic buildup, if your lymph nodes get swollen, around your ears, if you have cellulite, you're feeling constantly puffy, even muscle tension, when you always think like, oh, my neck and shoulders are just hurting. A lot of times this is stagnant lymph that occurs. So taking the time to incorporate some of these tools can be really helpful. Okay, right on top of this, we have the brain and the glymphatic system. This is essentially like nighttime detox. So your brain detoxes while you sleep through the glymphatic system. So if this system isn't working, toxins are accumulating in your brain. This is going to lead to brain fog, feelings of memory issues, trouble processing, headaches, migraines, poor focus, mental fatigue. And think about it. If you ever get a really poor night's sleep and you wake up and you're just like, oh my gosh, I just can't think clearly, everything's a daze, that is because the brain didn't get to drain in the way it's supposed to. It actually has its own detox mechanism that needs to occur. So you can see here why prioritizing sleep is absolutely so important. And we talk about this with our kids. We talk about this with adults. It is so important that we are working to get that 7 to 9 hours of sleep, especially as an adult. And I should say restful sleep. So if I'm continually never allowing my brain to be able to decrease the inflammation, to get those toxins out that it needs and flow through the whole funnel, like we've been talking about, then they're just accumulating. I'm going to live in this kind of dazed, brain fogged type of state. Another really one, morning sunlight. This regulates your circadian rhythm, your sleep rhythm. It's going to work for better sleep. There's many reasons outside of just vitamin D and things that morning sunlight is appropriate. And this is actually one of them. So getting your eyes in that morning sunlight, 15 to 20 minutes, could be very, very helpful for actually helping a sleep pattern, especially if you have kiddos who just really struggle with going to sleep at night, have a little bit of insomnia. This is a very, very basic thing that we can do to help start that cycle, get set on the right track. Minimizing screens, of course, an hour before bed. This is definitely blue light actually suppresses melatonin. And we need melatonin. It actually rises when we're ready to go to bed. So if I can get that blue light suppressed by hopefully just avoiding it altogether, if it's absolutely necessary that you be on some type of screen, getting some type of glasses that will help with that to filtering the blue light can be a helpful option. Hydration is also huge here. So the brain flushes toxins at night with water movement. So the more that I am hydrated, the easier that's going to be. So again, basic things here. We've got one last thing in this funnel, and this is at the very, very top. We have the mitochondria. And when people say like, I'm going to detox on the cellular level, this is actually what they're talking about. They're talking about the mitochondria. So these guys are like your energy factories. They are the light switch that essentially, like when they turn on, they're turning this whole funnel on. So they are the powerhouse of your cells. They're fueling detox, energy, cellular repair. If they're sluggish, your whole body is going to be sluggish. So some really great, easy ways to recharge these guys. Red light therapy, if you have availability or you have one, that is wonderful for boosting the mitochondria and actually turning on those powerhouses. It's going to boost cellular energy, boost cellular repair. Really nutrient dense foods, things like eggs, grass-fed beef, wild-caught salmon are all going to be things that are going to boost mitochondria. Again, deep breathing. So oxygen fuels mitochondria. Taking time in your day to pause, rest, take some deep breaths. We're constantly just so on the go. We're running from thing to thing. We're running to this appointment, to that appointment. Take the time, take a deep breath. Okay, there's a host of other reasons to be doing that as well. But to really recharge, get those cells recharged, can get this funnel turned on and allow things to flow in the way that they are meant to. So your action plan is to pick one of these things in each of these areas to start today. Drink half your body weight in water, move daily, get some walks in, jump on the trampoline, grab a dry brush, start your morning with lemon water, prioritize sleep. Remember that your brain needs it and certainly your kids' brains need it. Pick one. Which one are you going to try first? Let me know in the comments. I would love to see that. You were designed for health. And when you support your body the way that God intended, you will be amazed at how much better you feel. Sometimes we get so caught up in needing like the right supplements and the right detox. And I certainly use supplements in my practice. They have value in many areas. But if this isn't done first, none of that matters. Because if I can't get those toxins out, if I go off and I want to go after parasites or detox heavy metals or work through different types of infections, it's worthless to me if I can kill those things off, if I can't get them out of the body. I'm just actually creating more inflammation by doing so. So this is where we go, but everything goes back to the basics. There's no getting around putting in the work in the basic foundations. And that's why we talk about that over and over and over. And those are physical, and those are spiritual, and those are emotional. They all go together. We were created to have all three, and we need to be working on all three. So hopefully this gives you a little insight into why we care about the drainage system, why it needs to be the first step in your foundational journey. Like I said, it is with all of my clients. We go in significant more depth in how to work through this. If you are interested in some more of those basic foundations, you can definitely grab the Design Foundations guide that is listed in the show notes. If you want to talk further about how to incorporate these really into your family's life, if you need help identifying which areas you are stuck in, happy to do that. I would love to speak with you through a discovery call, but these are all things that you can take even just from this podcast and start instituting these today to take the next step in wellness for your family. Let this be part of your medicine toolbox. If you enjoyed this show, if you found value in it, please give us a follow, share with a friend. We are so grateful for you, and we will see you next week. Thank you for tuning in to Design Foundations. I hope today's episode left you feeling encouraged and equipped to take meaningful steps towards building a healthier, more intentional life for you and your family. If you found value in this conversation, I'd love for you to share it with someone else who might need this encouragement today. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you're feeling inspired, leave a review. It helps this message reach more families like yours. Until next time, remember, true wellness starts with a strong foundation, rooted in faith, and grows with intentional care. Take care, and I'll see you next week.
This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. The information shared is not a substitute for professional medical care. Always consult your healthcare provider before making any changes to your health or wellness routine.